So, this is our tie-in video for the 2016 election.
No.
It is? Well, our movie kind of has to deal with people coming together, and there's a big...
It has nothing to do with the election.
Yeah, there's the one place people go to not hear about that nonsense.
People come here?
Like the
People
6
come
people
here.
that come here.
Yeah. 6 people. Or, I think 42, but that's...
So Arrival stars Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, and it's about basically aliens arrive at Earth, and it's basically about the process that Amy Adams takes as a linguistics professor to try and communicate with them and try to figure out why they're on Earth. So this is gonna be our spoiler review. So to start off, what do you guys all think?
That movie was amazing.
Best movie of the year by a sizable margin.
I don't know
it's
about
near
a sizable
perfect.
margin,
Not
but
like,
I'd say
it's
probably
not
the
way
best.
better than like than Hell or High Water, but it's definitely better.
It's definitely better than Hell or High Water.
I would probably say for me, Hell and High Water and this are kind of neck and neck, but I kind of may like this more because sci-fi, like it's my preferred genre. But going back to the point is that this is because after a year that's filled with disappointing and terrible movies.
Yeah, we finally got a great movie after a year, just garbage.
Well, I say Hell or High Water.
I think this is Denis Villeneuve.
Pretty shitty.
Villeneuve.
Yeah, this movie, I think he's like, if he wasn't in it before, he's definitely in the conversation now. The best director. He nailed
this. It's definitely
one.
like another great movie. All 4 of his movies have been great.
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
I haven't
out of the park.
like he did Enemy, Prisoners, and Sicario. I haven't seen Indecendis, which was his movie back in 2010.
Well, I haven't seen that, but all those other ones that Nick just laid off are all great. So
yeah,
they're crushing it.
It's most because that this is a sci-fi movie that makes you think. Because I also kind of feel the marketing in the movie was kind of
No, you know what? They all of it was like the first 20 minutes or so, and if they showed anything later than that, it would have spoiled the movie. So no, the trailers weren't that great, but I'm happy that they didn't show anything more.
And also the fact that if you're going into this movie expecting this to be like Independence Day, where there's going to be big alien ships,
it's not like that.
Nah, there's no. Well, there's big rocks or whatever they are.
They're called shells.
Yeah.
They're called shells? Are they really?
Yeah.
Really, this movie's just great. I think the best thing about this movie is how it ratchets up tension during all the scenes they go to interact with the aliens. Not in a way where you think that they could get if the aliens could start shooting at them, but it's just in a way where you see that the aliens where you don't know what's gonna happen and you don't know what to expect, and just another great directed movie by this director, and just a great script too. Since we're going into spoilers, obviously the fact that Amy Adams, who's great in the movie, she learns that her daughter is eventually going to die, and basically all that stuff, that her daughter hasn't died yet, even though that's what we see at the beginning of the movie, just blew my mind.
Yeah, I know!
Huge twist.
That was an amazing plot twist.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it coming.
The ending of this movie is pretty controversial, because it's the one thing that either gets people to love the movie or gets them to kind of go back on maybe being the movie's direction and storytelling was probably better than what was actually the plot that was happening in the movie. But I really like the ending. The only problem I'd have with maybe the entire movie is how Amy Adams telling the president of China his final words turns out to be why he stopped. Because that information that wouldn't.
How would she get that information? Because she can't see into his
she just saw it into the past.
No, but she can't see into his past.
She saw back to where
Or you mean forward to where she would tell he came back
exactly.
saying, "Oh, thank God you said exactly what you needed to, and I'm just gonna tell you that now." That doesn't make any sense. That's not how this works. And also, why would the Chinese because this is only possible
it's
with
not
the Chinese?
Because I can buy it. The explanation they gave was enough to get me, but it is kind of.
But it's kind of a cop out.
They
just didn't invent the perfect thing to to say. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The rest of this movie's amazing.
Yeah, and also, I also want to give
One
big
bad part.
props to Amy Adams. Like, Amy Adams is
Jeremy
like one of
Renner,
those
too.
actors who I like,
Actresses.
but much like Chris Pine in Hell or High Water, this made me respect this actor on a much bigger level.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's been nominated for an Oscar.
She
before,
has, but this is definitely
her best movie.
one of the few movies that feels like she's not like trying to act, like she's not trying to give a performance, like she's not trying to be Lois Lane or trying to be this other
Can we not
character
talk
she
about
actually
Batman v
is.
Superman for like 2 minutes?
Because Batman vs Superman.
Who cares?
Shouldn't have said
They
it.
wasted her.
I
Shouldn't
don't
have said
care about Batman v Superman
But in
anymore.
this
it doesn't
movie-
matter.
In this
It
movie,
doesn't matter.
she's great. All the performances are great. I really love how
Jeremy
The
Renner's
script,
pretty
Jeremy
fun.
Renner, and the direction of the movie are
Forrest
both
Whitaker.
great. I love how they develop. Yeah, Whitaker is good too. I love how they develop. You know, the idea of how they can ask them what they're doing on Earth. They have to go through this huge
And
multi-step
it builds
process.
and builds. And
It's just the movie was a great movie about communication and literally the steps it takes to communicate with a different group of people. And I thought that was just amazingly done. The ending of this movie, the last like several minutes of this movie are just crazy good. Like
Also,
intense.
really
I
hit
lo-
you with the feels.
Oh wait,
yeah.
wait! Can I say
Feels.
the first part where they're kind of going back from their first meeting, like
Feels.
meeting the heptapod?
The heptapods.
Sure.
Hectapods.
The
Hectapods. 8.
Yeah, the octopuses. So those things, when they meet them, like the space octopuses, they like when they do it, like it's so like intense. Like when they're like kind of they're walking through, and then it's all flipped, and the music is kind of like blasting, and they're really like scared going in. And you don't really know what to expect.
It's kind of like
just that weird
2001,
shell.
where like
Yeah, it is a lot
where
like
it's
2001.
where it's more so about the build up than where the build up is so long to take because they want to get you to feel this otherworldly atmosphere where you're going when you're there. Like, and also another thing I love about the movie is that there's no villain.
Yeah, the
Wow.
aliens aren't treated like villains, and people in other countries even aren't treated like villains. The only time there's tension between people, and there's a lot of it in the movie, is when the script sets it up so that people don't know what each other are doing. They don't make it so there's a clear villain and good guy. They just make it where, like, it's a movie about people in this kind of crazy situation, how really smart people like Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner try to work through that. And
They
it's
do
just,
a good. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you were saying.
I
Like,
can't remember.
But they do a
The
good
whole
job
thing-
making this seem like a pretty big event too. Like especially at the
Like-
beginning, like you just see like a bunch of jets going across, and then there's like only a couple of students in her class, and like oh, like turn on a news station, everybody's
Yeah,
surprised, and
talking
like everybody has to evacuate.
about the
like-
shots, the one long shot of
that
Denis
was
Villeneuve
great.
has of just the camera coming in to show, you know, the big
The shell.
the shell, yeah.
And like, and also, what do you guys think of of when they finally showed the hectapods, their design?
They look pretty great actually because
Yeah,
they just kind of went like simple.
I think
Kind of like
I
went
think
in
the
line
best
with
thing about them is
the squid, like the ink that they
Yeah, I
have.
thought the best thing about them is like the way they communicate through ink and how they eventually were able to communicate by both of them doing something at once. I really like that. I just this movie's best strength, like script wise, is how it shows communication and how it really shows great themes about how people can communicate with each other through is writing, and how the direction really does a great job
It's
of
basically
developing tension and really showing like the sadness to Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner's relationship and the relationship with their daughter, who that was
It's
That
to
was
me,
sad.
it's for me the perfect bittersweet ending for this movie because this movie, and I'm sorry, Brock, if I'm going to offend you with this, because this movie has very much in common with Interstellar of being like an optimistic view of humanity, and
yeah, it definitely does that part better.
because I feel like here
they're like this to me.
it's just that
Arrival definitely has less flaws. Like their explanation, their ending makes probably more sense.
it's just
I
mostly
feel like Interstellar might be a little bit more ambitious though. Like this one, when you look at the end of the day, it's just kind of like aliens kind of going to humanity and just being like, oh, you know, you gotta like fix a couple things. Like their whole like reveal of why the aliens are here is just kind of because what like in 3,000 years in the future we're gonna need your help with something, so now I need to cooperate. It's kind of like
I liked
like
how
it's not too
it
crazy.
didn't really matter
but-
because this was
yeah, it
more
didn't
about
matter.
the humans. This
It's
is a
more
great
about
movie
the
about the
Like
humans.
Jeremy Renner's great in it.
Yeah,
He could be
Jeremy Renner.
maybe nominated for best supporting actor. I'd say
Yeah,
definitely a maybe.
I would also, and
Real
not to mention the
funny
fact
and
that the
smart.
ending is, again, as I said, was very bittersweet because it shows that hope is coming to humanity, but it also shows that in order for that to happen, there's going to be some sacrifices. Because to me, I feel like it's a much more fully fleshed out idea of showing that it's very much showing that, you know how like everybody asks how are they going to die and how's it going to happen, but the movie kind of shows that it's not about what happens, how you die, it's about the impact you leave that matters, your arrival, as the title would say.
I loved about how this movie gave out information, how it starts off giving you the fact that her daughter dies in this really sad montage, and then it kind of gives you information about the aliens and gives you through shots and stuff like that, and the script information about, you know, what's happening with communication with the aliens and eventually what happens with her daughter. It was just such a great connection between the script and the director, of just writer-director making a movie together. That was just great, like a near perfect movie. Like, it does have that one kind of small nitpick at the end, but this was a great movie. Honestly, I'd have to, if I'm going to give it a rating, I'd hit it with give it a 9.5 out of 10. I absolutely love this movie.
What's your
my favorite movie of the year so far?
I'm gonna give it a 9 just because like my new like I'm kind of changing how to rate things. Like before, I was giving a lot of movies like 8s or 7.5.
I was giving Batman v Superman like an 8.
See, Batman is, for example, like
Wait, no,
Suicide
you gave
Squad's like a 7 now.
Oh.
Batman v Superman's like a 6.5. Actually,
what'd you
maybe
give it
7.5
before?
for Suicide Squad.
Oh.
But like, anyway, what I'm saying is for these movies.
It's okay.
Or like
Suicide
this
Squad
movie that like, you know, like these low, like they're lowered, but like because like a 10 is like for me like a 9.5 is a perfect movie, and then a 10 is like a perfect movie that's also like The Dark Knight or like New Hope or like it has to be like it has to be different, and that might not even make it. Like it literally has to be like different. It has to be like a movie that connects with me personally, like on a different level, like Lord of the Rings or something like that. So this one, it's near perfect. It's just like that little nitpick in the end stops it from being like a 9.5, so it's a 9. But it's definitely the best movie of the year.
I'll say
it's
that
amazing.
to me, to give like one last quick summary of this film, is that if you're starting to get sick and tired of all these comic book movies and everything,
who cares about
if you just want to see a great original sci-fi movie that's more so trying to say something about humanity and communication and the best that people can aspire to become, but also about tragedy and loss, watch Arrival. You will not
one of the best
regret
sci-fi
it.
movies the last few years.
And that's why I'm going to give Arrival a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, this movie's just, it's just one of those, like, we've been
tension
talking about how
builds
this has
really
been, like,
well.
a really bad year for movies and kind of everything, but, I mean, at the end of the year, we've gotten the last 3 movies that we've kind of, bigger movies, we looked at Hell or High Water, Doctor Strange, and this, all movies we really liked. And a couple of them loved. So the year is starting to pick up at the end of the year. There's still a couple movies that we still want to see. Hopefully, we continue this like new trend of actually these good movies coming out.
It's mostly the summer.
Yeah, the summer was really bad, but now we're actually getting thankfully, some really good movies around, you know, Oscar season and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
This one's gonna pick up all these Oscar movies.
more reviews coming soon. Hopefully for movies that we like.
What are we gonna go
almost
see
just as
next?
much as this.
Hacksaw Ridge?
probably, or the Harry Potter movie.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm more excited for that than
Yeah,
the
let's
Harry
go.
Potter.
Yeah, I want to go see.
I don't see why they're doing it.
TBD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you for Mel Gibson